and welcome to a brand new season of Chicago This Week. I'm Riley Cook. Thanks so much for joining us. Every week we'll bring you original reporting on local news, sports, politics, entertainment, and more. We began with massive protests across the country. Anti-Trump demonstrations were held at thousands of locations in every single state. Our reporters attended events throughout the city, and we have team coverage for you from educators and students to people demanding Elon Musk leave government. But we begin with our Peggy Hellman. She attended what demonstrators called a hands-off protest in downtown Chicago and brings us this report.
Thousands of people packed Daley Plaza, staging the biggest protest in Chicago since President Donald Trump took office. Organizers estimated that nearly 30,000 people attended the hands-off event in protest of President Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
If we stay silent, nothing will change.
Protesters' message was loud and clear: hands off. Protesting against the Trump administration's actions to shutter federal agencies, cut jobs, slash funding for healthcare, deport immigrants, impose tariffs, and more.
I'm an occupational therapist, and several of the funding that I have had last year is now gone. I work with veterans who no longer are working because the federal government took away the research funds that they had in order to allow them to work.
Protesters said they have never seen an overhaul of the federal government like the one the Trump administration is currently enacting.
He's trying to dismantle the government, and that's what anarchists do. That's what fascists do.
My country and my democracy and my way of life are disappearing thanks to Donald Trump and his minions.
The protest at Daley Plaza was one of over 1,300 hands-off protests happening nationwide, according to organizers. Millions rallied across the country, all hoping for America to change its direction. At Daley Plaza, Peggy Hellman, Chicago This Week.
Thanks, Peggy. So among the thousands of protesters in Chicago, many were young people and many were educators. Annalise Cornejo Garcia spoke to several of them. She joins us now from downtown Chicago with more. Hi, Annalise.
Riley, protesters I talked to included public school teachers, teenagers, and children with their parents. They said they're speaking out to protect their right to free speech. Trotting, carrying, and playing. Tens of thousands of people in Chicago are showing out to give President Donald Trump the red light. Like Chicago native Catalina Delgado.
I think it's important that us young people mobilize and protect our future and fight for our future.
She says many of her peers wonder how long they'll be protected to do so under the current administration. An October poll found Americans voted in the 2024 presidential election with the protection of free speech in mind, ranking it second only to addressing inflation.
Schools are being asked to sign an agreement that they will not do DEI, and if they don't, they will not get federal funding. And that is infuriating to me.
Almost 80 days into the Trump presidency, educators, political leaders, and human rights organizations are warning that the Trump administration is on the path to inhibiting free speech. Many citing the crackdown on class curriculum, campus protest arrests, and press censorship. For now, others say pushing back through international protests like these are a critical go.
I'm hoping this will lead me to another step to fight because I'm an American as well.
In the Loop, Annalise Cornejo Garcia, Chicago This Week.
Thanks, Annalise. I was also at this weekend's protest covering the event. I found that President Trump wasn't the only person people were blaming for the country's issues. Many told me that billionaire Elon Musk is the problem, and they want him out of the White House and away from policymaking. Take a look.
I say rise up. You say fight back. Rise up. Rise up.
Protesters packing Daley Plaza, demanding Donald Trump and Elon Musk take their hands off of our democracy.
Fight back! Fight back!
A coordinated response condemning Musk's growing role in the Trump administration.
I don't know what he's doing here. He's not elected. He should go home and take care of his cars.
Organizers say at least 15,000 people turned out, part of more than 1,400 rallies across the country. The hands-off protest following a nationwide Tesla takedown, hitting back at Musk's power and paycheck.
I think it's great that people are working through their wallets. Sell your car, don't buy one. watch that stock sink.
Wouldn't buy one now. I bought an Audi electric car because I just can't stand them.
If somebody gave me one, I'd sell it.
Musk currently heads the Department of Government Efficiency, an agency critics say is behind sweeping cuts to social safety programs like Medicaid and Social Security.
I'm scared to death about Social Security. I also have a daughter who's severely disabled on Medicaid. What's going to happen to all of us who need these services?
Department of Government Efficiency, if we can call it that, it has been going in and recklessly tearing down programs and putting people out of work. Many of them are here today protesting because they've lost their jobs, which are very important. I just spoke to someone who worked at the EPA. She lost her job because of Elon Musk and his program.
These protesters say they'll keep marching until billionaires like Musk are out of public policy.
That billionaire jagoff Elon Musk.
In downtown Chicago, Riley Cook, Chicago This Week.
It's time now for our business report. Sticking with the recent criticism of the federal government, a common complaint is tariffs. We've all seen the extreme volatility with U.S. stocks. How is it impacting consumers? Alexia Cadota-Browner joins us with that report. Hi, Alexia.
Hi, Riley. After the Trump administration announced new tariffs on all countries earlier this week, the average cost of goods is expected to rise. I went to the northern suburbs to speak to shoppers about how they're planning to prepare. Cost of living is on consumers' minds as the Trump administration's new tariff plan starts to settle into the economy.
Prices have been going up and up just so much that it's almost unbelievable. And the thought of the tariffs just makes it all the more so.
We're all going to suffer in terms of increased prices because the price will be passed on to us without question.
Using authority under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, President Trump has enacted a 10% tariff on all countries, effective since April 5th. Customers at Village Marketplace in Skokie are shopping mindfully with the increased cost of living expected to come.
The world economy has not been shaken like this probably since COVID, and certainly not even to the extent that this is shaking up the world economy. I'll try to buy stuff that's not going to be tariff impacted. It's going to be hard to know what that is.
It's getting expensive day by day. I'm changing my habits because I used to go like 4 or 5 times in a week. Now I'm going 2 days, like 2 days or 1 day.
According to the USDA, about 17% of the total U.S. food supply is imported. Tariffs are expected to significantly raise the cost of imported goods, including household staples like fresh produce, coffee, seafood, and alcohol. As of now, owner George Arvanitis says he hasn't seen a drastic increase in his produce prices yet, but it's unclear what the future will hold. In Skokie, Alexia Cadota-Browner, Chicago This Week.
Thanks, Alexia. Now let's move on to local politics. A Logan Square native is the newest alderman for the 35th Ward. He was sworn in at City Hall this week. Our Grace Friedman covered the event, and she joins us downtown with more. Tell us more about him, Grace.
Thanks, Riley. At a special city council meeting on Monday, Commissioner Anthony Quezada became the newest alderman of the 35th Ward. At a special city council meeting on Monday, Cook County Commissioner Anthony Quezada was sworn in as the new alderman for the 35th Ward, replacing Carlos Ramirez Rosa, who recently stepped down to lead the Chicago Park District.
In this case, Quezada had worked for the retiring alderman, Ramirez Rosa, and had also managed to get himself elected to the county board and had interacted with Brandon Johnson.
Quezada, a Logan Square native, was backed by the United Neighbors of the 35th Ward, a volunteer-run political organization that's been active for nearly a decade.
Anthony is a Logan Square native who grew up in our neighborhood when we had people representing us that were just trying to make some money out of our community.
Among the ward's biggest concerns, housing affordability, school funding, and neighborhood infrastructure. All issues residents say Quezada already understands firsthand.
As Cook County Commissioner, he has legislative experiences, so he knows how to pass an ordinance. He understands the different governmental relationships that you need to keep intact in order to provide for working families.
With Quezada's appointment lasting through 2027, experts say his role could influence key votes for years to come. From Logan Square, Grace Friedman, Chicago This Week.
Thank you, Grace. Chicago is known for its diversity and vibrant immigrant communities. We're home to a huge number of people from Poland, Mexico, and China, but that's not all. Abby Feldman is downtown with the story of a group celebrating independence this week. Hi, Abby.
Hi, Riley. Yes, what a great time to celebrate a country's independence. This week, it was all about Greece.
Greek flags flew high above Halsted Street as the neighborhood came alive for the annual Greek Heritage Parade. The parade celebrates Greek independence in Hellenic pride, a tradition that's been going strong since the 1960s.
It's to commemorate our independence from the Ottoman Empire in 1821.
That makes Greece 204 years old.
We're very proud people. So rather than mourning the loss of our soldiers, we celebrate the efforts of not only the soldiers but the people, because as a people we really fought hard for our freedom.
The celebration began with an awards ceremony at the National Hellenic Museum, honoring those who made a lasting impact on Chicago's Greek community. From there came the parade, a colorful march of floats, flags, and families.
Here representing my Sons of Pericles chapter, and I'm walking with the HEPA float.
Many feel that taking part in the parade is a way to stay connected to family, to community, and to heritage.
It's like a culture thing. It makes you happy to just come appreciate your culture.
Whether riding on floats or watching from the sidelines, the crowd turned out to show their pride.
It's amazing. It's very strong. Everyone knows each other. Everyone's friendly.
We have a very strong Greek presence in Chicago.
A celebration rooted in history and kept alive by community. In Greektown, I'm Abby Feldman, Chicago This Week.
Thanks, Abby. Don't go anywhere. Coming up, we've got a brand new season of sports.
If I were to die, spread my ashes on Wrigley Field.
From professional baseball and international soccer to college soccer and the latest on Ryan Field.
This is our last big tournament that we're in, so we just got to come out, have fun, go in with confidence, and yeah.
Cubs win, baby. Don't forget it, nowhere else you'd rather be than Wrigley Field on opening day.
Coming up soon, a closer look at the new Ryan Field, what players anticipate and what fans can expect for the 2026 football season.
We'll be right back.
Ready, set, nano.
It's official, folks. Spring sports is here. From end-of-season championships to new season openers, we've got a little bit of everything in today's show. We're going to kick things off with baseball. Jake Mazarski joins us downtown. Jake, tell us, how did the Cubs do, and what are fans saying?
Thanks, Izzy. Well, it's officially baseball season, meaning thousands of fans are piling into the friendly confines of Wrigley Field and the surrounding bars to watch the Cubs whenever they're in town. Chicago currently sits at first place in the NL Central, but regardless of the team's performance, Wrigleyville's the place to be.
Cubs win, baby. Don't forget it, nowhere else you'd rather be than Wrigley Field on opening day.
Let's go, Cubs! Let's go!
It's officially baseball season, and that means Cubs fans have returned to Wrigley Field.
This is everything to me. I come to opening day every single year. If I were to die, spread my ashes on Wrigley Field.
I have season tickets. I didn't go to a game last year, and this is my first time back.
Chicago played its first series at the Friendly Confines this past weekend against the San Diego Padres. With this comes days at the ballpark with loved ones. What's baseball season like with all your friends?
Oh, it's amazing. They're both right here. I don't know if they're in the camera or not, but we're live.
Wrigley is not only a baseball stadium, but a landmark.
Oh, it's just the best. It's in the middle of like a great neighborhood, and I think that vibe in the feel and how historic it is, I truly think it's the best.
With all the smiles comes optimism. Going into 2025, Cubs fans have high expectations.
We can win like 92 games.
We just want to see a playoff. However far, we would love to go to a playoff game here.
World Series, what else?
We're going to take it all. It's going to happen, all right? You understand me? We're going to take it all.
In Wrigleyville, Jake Mazarski, Chicago This Week.
Thanks, Jake. Some Cub players at the season opener were making headlines for more than just how they played. A few used the brand new controversial torpedo bat. They're designed to maximize power and speed. But critics say they're unfair. I reached out to the manufacturer to learn more. Take a look. Opening day wasn't the only debut happening in the MLB. A different kind of bat, called the torpedo bat, is starting to show up in games across the league. Louisville Slugger's newest innovation adjusts the sweet spot based on each player's swing.
If you can move that sweet spot, which is about the size of a silver dollar, it's going to make a difference for the performance. Because if you hit outside the sweet spot on the wood bat, you're only going to get 60% of its power.
Each bat is custom built, right down to the handle, knob, and weight. For players like Cody Bellinger, it took 5 different designs before it felt right.
There's probably 11 different versions of the torpedo bat already out there. The diameters are fairly similar, but to keep the weights and the balances the same and to get the handle right for each player, those all have to be modified. And every time you change the handle or the knob, you've got to change what you're doing up here so it feels the same to them.
The design is quickly catching on. Cubs shortstops Dansby Swanson and Nico Horner were some of the first to premiere the bats.
I'm all for players finding whatever edge they can.
And with pitching technology evolving fast, fans say it's only fair hitters have something too.
Pitchers have a lot of advantages too. I know they try to take some of that stuff away, but it's good that when the batters, like the league wants batters to perform.
Louisville Slugger says it's too soon to call them the future. But for now, the torpedo bats are here to stay. From Wrigleyville, Izzy Begley, Chicago This Week. Now on to basketball. The University of Connecticut beat South Carolina for their 12th National NCAA Women's Championship. The game showed how women's basketball continues to grow. Katie Lacavara joins us with that story. Katie, tell us, where were you when you watched the championship game?
Thanks, Izzy. I watched the game at the music venue Sleeping Village with over 100 fans. While the game averaged 8.5 million viewers, some fans had to get creative to watch the game.
Although millions tuned in to the Women's NCAA March Madness Championship game, it can still be hard for fans to find spaces to watch these games.
I'm surprised that we still have to be fighting to find these spaces.
Nora McConnell-Johnson and Maya Goldberg-Safer were frustrated with the lack of sports bars showing the women's game, so they decided to throw a watch party of their own.
The fact that we're camped out at a traditionally music venue is speaks to sort of the lack of spaces for people to be able to group up and be able to watch games like this together.
Maya is the writer of the Rough Notes Substack, and this event affirms what she's always known about women's sports.
Well, I love women's basketball because it wasn't cool for a really long time. The fact that now people are excited about this thing that we've always known is really cool is just the best feeling.
For Nora, whose women's sports bar Babes opens in June, seeing the number of fans is particularly meaningful.
People who are watching right now or today, a lot of us are women who've played sports our whole lives. There's a lot of catharsis in people coming together to watch women's sports right now because for a lot of us it's like a dream that we've had for a long time.
And the fans say they appreciate the community that these watch parties provide.
I just love being involved in the women's sports community, and I think to get the opportunity to come to an event like this was just super appealing.
From Avondale, Katie Lacavara, Chicago This Week.
Moving on to soccer, we've got 3 stories on deck. But before we get to the college teams, we'll start with the Premier League. A Manchester City midfielder is leaving the club. Local fans and many from across the pond gathered at a popular Chicago pub to watch one of his last games. Anthony Lowe joins us with more. Anthony, who's leaving?
Thanks, Izzy. Kevin De Bruyne is leaving Manchester City after 10 years with the club. We still aren't sure what team he's joining yet. Take a look.
Amidst the Windy City's roar, a different roar echoed through AJ Hudson's public house during the Premier League weekend. The Manchester Derby, a clash between City and United, was being watched by the dedicated members of Chicago MCFC.
So when I moved here, it was really looking for a place to be able to watch the games. And something that I experienced was that being away from home made watching the City games become kind of a lot more important to me because it was that connection back to home. So we've been official for like 12 or so years. We've currently got about 165 registered members.
But this wasn't just any derby. It was Kevin De Bruyne's final appearance in this historic fixture, as he announced his departure from City at the end of this season after 10 years of service. This added an extra layer of emotion to an already charged atmosphere.
Yeah, he's been an incredible player for City. He scored, I think he's won 6 Premier League titles, Champions League, he's won everything there is to win in the game. Absolute legend of the club. I think everybody saw it coming that maybe this would be his last season, but he's done 10 years with us, an incredibly loyal servant. I suspect he'll get a statue outside the stadium. But yeah, one of the best Premier League players I think there ever has been.
Although the match ended with a draw, the passion was undeniable. Chicago MCFC shows that De Bruyne's impact resonates far beyond Manchester. I'm Anthony Lowe, Chicago This Week.
Thanks, Anthony. This week, we're spotlighting the DePaul Blue Demons soccer. Simone Roberts will introduce us to their men's club team, but we begin with Blake McQueary and the women. Hi, Blake.
Thanks, Izzy. Talking to this team, they are excited heading into the fall season. Senior midfielder Jen Devona tells me that they have their eyes set on one common goal: to win the Big East.
As the spring season arrives, opportunity approaches for the DePaul University women's soccer team.
Spring season is a great opportunity really to work with our current group and continue to develop our identity and what we really want to look like next year, and then be able to have the ball a lot. I think when we're in our season and playing Big East soccer, we don't always have the ball as much as we want to have it. So today was really, really valuable to be able to get on the ball and see what we can be like.
Fresh off the program's best season since 2019, the Blue Demons' return to Wrigley Field for its spring exhibition slate against Chicago State and Purdue Northwest reminds them of what's to come.
I think it's just reminding everyone about the important details and just working every day in practice and bringing the competitive spirit every day for everyone to get out there and get on the ball. A lot of people stepped up and were able to play different positions and try new things, and it's super important for our team.
The expectation of success is high, but their chemistry is much higher.
We all walk onto the field together, we're all smiling, we're all talking to each other. You can definitely see it, that it resonates back onto the field.
In Lincoln Park, I'm Blake McQueary, Chicago This Week.
Thanks, Blake. And now on to the men. Simone Roberts has that part of the story. Simone, you covered the men's club team this week, and you traveled all the way to Ann Arbor, Michigan to watch their match and talk with the team. What can you tell us?
Thanks, Izzy. It's been a tough season for the men, but the seniors say they are grateful for the opportunity to play at this coveted invitational.
The University of Michigan Spring Invitational and are happy to prove they belong at the same level as some of these bigger squads.
So for us, it's more like coming here and showing that we belong. And that's what we told the team from the start was we belong here and we're good enough to be able to play.
The Blue Demons competed in tough losses against club teams at Michigan and Michigan State before closing the tournament out against Purdue.
The seniors, this is our last big tournament that we're in, so we just got to come out, have fun, go in with confidence, and yeah.
In Ann Arbor, Simone Roberts, Chicago This Week.
Thank you, Simone. Switching gears, it's been called college football's most expensive field, and the projected cost, around $850 million. And now I'm talking about Northwestern's University Ryan Field. Amanda Perkowski visited the site and joins us now with an update. Hi, Amanda.
Yes, that's right. I talked to players and team representatives, and they're excited about the new stadium.
Steel beams continue to rise in the construction of the new Wrigley Field. And according to Northwestern, a third massive crane is set to join the others this week. With the stadium skeleton coming together, Northwestern's new vision for college football is taking shape.
We're building below grade, meaning so we can stack the levels of the stadium above each other, producing the best sight lines in sports. It mimics more of a traditional basketball arena than it does a football stadium.
It's a fantastic design. It's built into the ground, so it's going to reflect the sound. It is going to be the most exciting stadium to be in the Big Ten and maybe even the whole country.
So we're super excited about that. What does that do? It gives our fans the best sight lines, brings the fans closer to the action.
Players are also excited about the stadium's impact on recruitment and the future of Northwestern football.
If you're a recruit coming here, there's no other place you want to be. Playing Big Ten football, having this high academic institution, and as well playing in this new $800 million stadium.
Being able to have a great facility and then a new stadium is definitely a blessing. It's just something that's ours that we can call home. We can hopefully make it like a fortress and have a good run in the new stadium.
In addition to football, the stadium offers a new space for community events.
On the outside of the stadium, we've tilted the stadium on an axis to open up over 200,000 square feet of parks and plazas that will serve not only the game day community, but also the whole North Shore community 365 days a year.
So, Amanda, they've been working on the stadium for more than a year. When do they expect it to be finished?
Yes, the construction is still right on track with the goal for the stadium to be ready for the 2026 football season.
Finally, we've arrived at my favorite story of the day. You've probably heard of hot yoga, where they make the studio around 100 degrees. Then there's goat yoga, where the farm animals literally crawl on you while you're doing the exercises. But a studio in the city is trying something new, and I think it's the cutest idea yet. Avery Feldman has the story. Avery, tell us about this new twist in yoga.
Thanks, Riley. Yes, it's puppy yoga. Puppy yoga came to a brewery in Westtown. Take a look.
1, 2, 3.
Barks and Brews took place at Midwest Coast Brewing Company over the weekend.
Obviously, we'll be doing yoga with puppies running around with you. All of the puppies that are here are rescue puppies, so these puppies actually flew in from Puerto Rico.
Judith Patterson is the founder of Moyo Village.
Moyo Village is a rescue partnership, and we work with rescues in Puerto Rico. So we partnered with Paradise Rescue, and these are their puppies that they'll be adopting out.
Patterson says animal shelters in both Puerto Rico and the U.S. are overrun with dogs. The goal is to spread the word about fostering and adoptions. Maggie Lynch is the social media manager of Paradise Rescue.
There's always going to be more puppies that we can continue to send, so the more that we can find forever homes for, the more we are able to help rescue off the streets and then put them in that same position again.
Ryan Mullen is an attendee at the event. Mullen says he and his wife enjoy morning yoga, and when they heard puppies were involved, they had to come.
To learn that there's over 650,000 dogs that need rescuing, and that there's amazing organizations and groups like the two that put this event on today, it's just great to know that that's out there and that there's also ways to help out, whether it is donation or attend a fun event like this.
The puppy yoga benefits both the people and the puppies. This is Avery Feldman for Chicago This Week.
Thank you, Avery, and thank you all for watching at home. We hope you enjoyed the show, and tune in at the same time next week. Have a great night, everyone.